part of what you love about real estate. It's rarely the asset. It's about all the things that are wrapped around in gaining or growing or selling or pitching the deal or negotiating the deal. So when you say I love real estate, is it all of that? Is it none of that? What is it for you? I don't want to put, I don't want to say this is what it is, but what is it for you?
So, I mean, I love to hunt. So the cold calling and the like, so like I'll come up with a target. I'll make a map of the whole area and I'll find my targets and I'll figure out what I can do on them. I'll make my valuations and then I'll go and I'll call the people and I'll hound the people and I'll like, it's just this negotiation, this chase. I love it. And I love just because I'm not there trying to screw them. I know what it's worth to me. So when I figure out what it's worth to them, if those things are in line, like, let's help each other. Let's do this. I can give you what you want. What you want is outrageous, but how the way I see it is outrageous, right? But that's the truth. The secret is not like you have to be special. You have to figure out a way to pay these people some stupid amount of money for their house. That's the truth. Because how do you get 6 people to sell when none of them or one of them only wanted to sell, right? There's only one way. Pay them a lot, pay them enough until they all say yes, right? Now, along the way, other things get really important, right? So it's not obviously just pay them a lot, but that's a gigantic part of it. If you can't figure out how to pay them more than it's worth, I mean, I don't think anybody's stealing stuff anymore. Maybe in Saskatchewan, I have no idea, but in Toronto, like, you're not stealing a deal from somebody, because every developer's looking at everything all the time. Like, it's one of the craziest real estate markets in the world, right? This is fierce. This is, even people from New York think development in Toronto is crazy, right? But it's like, it's the hunt. And then after the hunt, it's like keeping it together, because it's like, you have it all together and then all kinds of things come up that screw up this one or this. Somebody dies, God forbid, but that happens. And like, this person changed their mind, or now you need more time. And everybody wants to give you time except for one person. They're like fed up with the whole thing now. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's like constantly being a goalie and figuring out, like, how am I going to deal with this, right? Like, but it's constant.
Don't be a Leafs goalie.
Don't be a Leafs goalie.
Don't be a Leafs goalie. That's all I got to
anything
say.
Leafs. Ugh. Anyways, I can't even watch them anymore. And
So
then it's like the
creativity.
No, but I like picturing the building that I'm gonna put there, or somebody's gonna put there. Like, I like this whole thing, because when I see the like, I can go there and see the building. Like, I love it, and it lets me you be like a kid and have an imagination and like make something in here and then try and produce it out there, right? There's not too many other things I think you can do like that. And then add on to it that, like, you can make a lot of friggin' money. Like,
we can't forget the money. Don't forget the money.
You can also lose a lot of friggin' money. We see
here's a quote. My uncle used to use the phrase, "Buddy, I don't need the work. I need the money." That was always his phrase. I don't need the work. I need the money. So,
right?
It's interesting, that creativity part of it, because, I'm not saying that you do, but many like yourself take your creativity for granted, as if everybody's got that kind of creativity. And I can tell you is that my creativity is very limited to some specific things. I don't have that big grand vision creativity that would be in building design, for example. So it's interesting what goes on in our minds, and what you have I would call it a gift. And you've obviously got some kind of a gift, because you've earned the track record and have the success that you've had because of what you do. So I just find that when you think about what you love about real estate, we're starting to hear in that language what it is you love about real estate. And that is, getting the hunt, doing the negotiation, but the creativity that comes with it that's really what it's about for you. And perhaps that would live outside of real estate, although you're very comfortable and familiar with real estate and buildings and all the kind of architecture that comes with it, I'm sure. So that I find that kind of I find it very interesting when I talk to somebody like you and see that vision. It's very good. So I want to talk about your YouTube.
Okay.
TK. How did you guys meet? Because I've watched your show. I enjoy your show. You guys are hilarious. But I think what I like about the show is that
Yeah.
in it, you guys are riffing off stuff. You're talking about your week and what went on, and you're kind of talking about real issues. So I find it often quite interesting, the insights that you get, because you're bumping up against all the same stuff that people are bumping up against. They're paying attention, whether there be investors or just home buyers that want to get into real estate or figure real estate out. I mean, you guys are actually having real time conversations. TK sharing as a realtor what he's seeing in the market. So it's just really good value in that. And with some entertainment value. I think it's pretty good. So I just wanted to shout out anybody who's listening. You gotta tune into that show. It's fun.
We made a point to want to add some kind of entertainment to a real estate show, which I don't know why we would do that, but I think if like, we're not trying to sell anything. Well, we weren't, at least at the beginning. But like, the idea is
Now you're
not to
selling
sell
what? What are you
anything.
selling? Advertising? No, I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean,
What
we
do you
we,
mean?
we dabbled in some advertising for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
which but we did dabble in some advertising with some partners, and that worked out okay. But originally the intent was not to do that, but we ended up with an arrangement that was too hard to pass up,
Mm-hmm.
and we tried it, and what we learned a lot, because if people only knew the power of just doing something for an hour once a week for a few years and what you can do with it. It's funny, I saw on Twitter yesterday, maybe today, the day before, somebody posted a picture of an arena, hockey arena, full of fans. And they said, this is 20,000 people. So imagine if you had 20,000 followers somewhere, and like, if you can't, make 2 sales a year out of this, right? And it's like a whole arena of people, you're doing something wrong. And so what I've seen, and I study YouTube, like I really do, like I want to get better and I want to figure out, how to do it better and how to get more views like everybody else. And I mean, you have to study it. You have to figure it out. You got to
Mm-hmm.
learn this thing. But when you do, and when you do it right, like the amounts of money that some people are making and the connections that you can make through this, like whatever you decide your intent is for this kind of a thing, whoever you are, whether you like just even a mother sitting at home, I'm telling you, there's an audience for everybody out there, right? So if you just do it consistently and you try and do it a little better every week, or every time you put something out there and you try new stuff, eventually you'll find the thousands of people that for whatever reason, like, vibe with you and follow you. And then if you wanted to like sell them something,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the thing, like, this is nothing new, right? This is, we've been buying stuff that's been in movies and TV ads and like newspapers forever. This is just the new way of doing it. And so what I realized is like, holy cow,